I am Luke Paonessa, and this is Ohio Sports Net. Why'd you stop dancing though? Like,
I know what else. I know what else to do.
Just do some random shit. You're a good dancer. All you do is at football practice is dance.
I said what I did.
He doesn't even practice football. He just practices dance moves.
I need to get better though. I only know that. I only do this one on the
Dance
front.
with the Stars?
What?
Dance with the Stars?
Yo, are we doing special teams today or no?
No.
In JV games we don't. I don't know if we do this over here.
So I would say being an Avon Eagle is a great experience just because like definitely taught me some lessons like staying dedicated to like a goal as a team and just kept me disciplined. It's like definitely given me a good work ethic.
How much all the things you guys go through, like 5 a.m. lifts, the dirty dozens, the 2-a-days, all that, all those things that you go through, how would you describe that to an outsider?
It's really hard, but it pays off in the end, like shows to our success, you know. Made the Final Four the last 4 years except this year. So we made Final Four the last 5 years, shows why. The coaching staff is amazing, all the hard work that they have us doing in the off season, so.
How much do you think all that stuff separates you from other teams in the area?
Definitely separates us a lot. You can definitely tell that we're bigger, stronger, more prepared than most teams that we play in the SWC.
Coming into this year, how psyched were you?
I was really excited, you know. I was really excited to play the whole year. Fortunately, it didn't happen, but I still say I had a good year. Just being on the sidelines and being with the team, you know. These guys are like brothers. Just being with them is always going to be a good time. Goofing around in the locker room, hanging out after practice, BP nights. Even though I didn't play the whole year, it was a good experience.
Go back before your injury. What was that like to step on the field on a Friday night?
It was definitely, at first, a little nerve-wracking, but then once you get into the groove of the game, it was super fun. Definitely one of the most fun things that I've ever done, like for my junior year, and then the 2 quarters that I played senior year. So even in the scrimmages my senior year, I was super stoked to play.
You didn't just say, all right, I'm done, I'm injured, I quit, I don't need to show up anymore. You showed up every day with a good attitude, and you were there for your teammates. What does that say about you?
It just shows that I, care about them. I still bought in, even though I got hurt and wasn't going to be able to play. I have a bunch of respect for the coaches. I still didn't want to let them down. I still had in the back of my mind that even though I didn't have to show up, I was still nervous that they would get mad at me for not showing up. That's just what they've put in our brains, that we can't miss anything.
How much have you learned from the whole ordeal that's going to help you in the future?
The injury was definitely tough, mentally, physically, but it's definitely going to help me get through harder stuff that I'm going to face in the future. I know how to persevere through tough times.
What's some advice you could give to a player maybe in the future that if they go through a similar situation, to not give up and stick it out?
Keep yourself involved with the team. Stay coming to practice every day. Stay engaged with the team. Stay talking to your coaches. Stay talking to your friends on the team. I promise it's worse when you don't show up than when you do show up. It sucks at times where you're just watching and everyone's super focused into practice and you're kind of just sitting there, but it's definitely worse when I'm just sitting at home. The few practices that I did skip, I felt terrible, just sitting at home doing nothing. Definitely depressing and stuff.
5 years, 10 years, whatever. Where do you see your life going?
Plan is to own a large business and have a family. That's my plan, but we'll see.
You already have experience with that too. You and Sam, everybody, that landscaping business, what's that like?
Yeah, me, Sam, and Amin and Austin Mitchell got the mulching business that I'm already going through business. So
what's that like? You are a teenager. You own your own business now.
I'm definitely learning how to interact with people, interact with customers, just learning everyday business techniques and just learning about how to run a business, really.
How much do you think that puts you ahead of the game of kids your age that have no clue of how to do that?
I think I would understand how to run a business better than most people, me and Sam went through the first year, just trying to figure out what works. Like, you're gonna have to do that with any business. Now that I've done it with the mulching business, like, I'll figure it out quicker, I would think, you know. I would figure out what's gonna work and how to stay organized, stuff like that.
Next year, your brother, it's going to be his senior year. What kind of advice are you going to give him going into it, you know, so that he can enjoy his senior year to the fullest?
To enjoy his senior year, just don't take any practice for granted. Just any moment with the team, just enjoy as much as you can.
Luke Paonessa is a guy that waited his turn in this program, and we knew his junior year he played some meaningful minutes and downs for us, that he's a physicality and a physical linebacker who will come downhill and can stop the run when people are running right at you. Unfortunately, every year in football, you have guys who suffer injuries, and that's hard to go through. If you're an athlete and you've played athletics your whole life and they get ripped from you and you have to watch everyone else go on, it can create some challenging times. So his story doesn't stop at the injury. His story goes beyond that, in that he's come to practice every day. He's been there to support his brother. He's been there to support his teammates. And right now, it might be hard for Luke Paonessa, but when he looks back on this experience, he's going to realize that he dealt with something really hard and tough, and he's doing it in such a positive way. Because he could have went away and not been here. But he's instead decided to help our team and be an inspiration to everyone else. And I know when I see him at practice and I go up and talk to him, I'm really glad that he's still around our players, because they value him a great deal. The other thing people don't know about Luke Paonessa is that, you know, Sam DiTilio and Luke and Amin and Cole has done it, have a landscaping, you know, business that they run in the summer. And I had them come over to my house and landscape. So I got to watch them from a distance do this work. Such mature kids. Like Luke is somebody who is going to go off to college, and he's going to be very successful because he has all the skill sets and the work ethic and the things that he's gotten out of football. What he didn't get is the stats his senior year. He didn't get the tackles. He didn't get to play in the games and get player of the game. But everything he's learned throughout this program is going to carry with him after that. And I'll be honest, 10 years from now, nobody cares how many tackles you made. 10 years from now, nobody cares if you were first team all-conference or all-county. But every time you speak and every time you interact with somebody else, people care how you make them feel. And Luke Paonessa is going to make people feel really good because he's a great kid. Life's hard, and it never gets easier. Sometimes people wait for the easy, and you don't get, the easy never comes. You just get better at dealing with the hard. And unfortunately for him, he's had to learn how to deal with hard earlier than other people. And he's going to be a better person for it because he's learned how to deal with a disappointment and something really hard. And I'd like to tell him it's the last thing that's going to happen to him, but it won't. There's going to be other hard things that come his way. And when they do, he's going to be better equipped to handle that because he's already been through this.
He didn't give up, and he's still here every day.
Yeah.
What does that say about him?
He never gives up, and I don't know. I think he's just a comeback kid. He's never gonna give up on us. He's never gonna give up on our team. He'll be here every day for the rest of the year.
Seeing him at home then and seeing him every day, what was his demeanor like after he got the news?
Just, you know, I mean, he tried to keep his head up, but he was sad. Just everything about it, it's just all sucked.
What are some fun things that maybe some people don't know about Luke that you'd want to share?
He loves playing poker. He loves playing games on his computer. He's super strong. He's so strong in the weight room. Everybody calls him Pete. It's my dad's name.
First 2 games, you guys got to play together for a little
Yeah.
bit. What was that like?
It was awesome. I mean, running off onto the field next to my brother, my older brother, played with him never before. I've never played football with my brother before. Running on the field just made me so happy. And I saw him go down. It just ruined the rest of the game for me.
What is it about him, too? I mean, I always see him with a smile on his face. You know he's not happy, but yet,
Yeah.
how does he do that?
He doesn't want to spread the negative vibes to everybody else on our team because he's a team kid. He's just going to do whatever it takes for us to win.
And now I've seen him today at practice. He has the knee brace off, so his progress is coming along.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to come back, isn't he?
That'd be awesome. I wish.
But I mean, he's just going to come back in life is what I mean.
Oh, yeah, for sure, 100%. He'll never give up. Yeah.
What do you see in the future for him?
He's going to get shredded. He's going to lose a lot of weight. I don't know. I'm excited. I can't wait for him to start getting back, running. Just everything coming here, being happy again. It'll be awesome.
How about next year when he comes back, watches some games of your senior year?
Oh, man. That'd be sweet. I mean, I'm going to have to ball out for him then.
So one final thought. What if you could encompass your brother in like a phrase, some words, anything, what would it be?
an animal. He's just a beast. Everything about him. He's just a beast.
Luke Paonessa is probably one of like the funniest people I know, and not even just the funniest people, but he's one of the hardest working people I know. A lot of people will joke around and call him like, because sometimes he does like to be lazy, but when it comes to Luke Paonessa, he knows when to like sit down and put his head down and go to work, because he's a hard worker. He doesn't mind working hard. You know, it's just a good quality that he has, and probably my favorite quality about him is that he's probably like my most trusted friend. He's very trustworthy. Whenever I have a problem, or if I ever have something that I'm dealing with, if there's one person I know I can talk to without being judged, or who will really help me out and tell me the truth, it's Luke Paonessa. He's probably one of my most trusted friends, and that's something I hold really dear to me. It's kind of funny, the way we met was kind of weird. Like, so we were on the same football team when we were younger, in like 4th grade. It was a while back, and then we didn't have any classes, so we didn't really talk. And then randomly, I think it was in like 6th grade or somewhere in that middle school area, I just was one day like riding my bike around for some reason. I was bored. Then I decided to go out of my neighborhood and just start riding my bike all around all around Avon. It was really random. I don't know why I was doing it, and then I got lost. But for some reason, I remember specifically going to Luke's house, because he had like a banquet for like our football team when we were younger, and I just remember finding his house, and I was like lost. I didn't know how to get back, and I was like, and I had his number, and I called him up, and he was like, "There's no way in front of my house right now." I'm like, "Dude, come out right now. I'm right in front of your house." And lo and behold, he walks out, and he's like, "Dude, how did you get here?" And I was like, "I don't know, man. I'm lost." So it's kind of a little funny story about how me and Luke Paonessa kind of became friends. After that, we started hanging out. But yeah, I mean, he's just he's a very caring person. He's a trustworthy person. He's a hard worker. He's somebody that I love to be around, because I know that he makes me want to be a better person and a better version of myself. And that's just something I really appreciate from Luke Paonessa.
When we were in youth football, we played against each other. He was on the black team in the one year, and I was on gray. And that's how we really started our friendship. A lot of us was those youth football scrimmages in practice. Then after that, we'd know each other through school, and that's how our relationship began, and I have some good memories from that time.
Like, what are some of your favorite memories that stand out?
He's a good poker player. Just like little money, us just playing as a friend group, and he's a good poker player.
Has he bluffed you?
Yeah, of course. Of course. He's a good poker player.
I've heard he's just strong as an ox, too.
Yes, I never, unfortunately, got to work like with the mulching. Like Sam has, I'm sure you've heard mulching, and he is one of the hardest workers in that group, is what I hear from the mulching. I never got to see it in action, but yes, he's strong like an ox. Squatting, see him, he puts up an absurd amount of weight that all of a sudden you look over like, what is going on? And then he's strong as an ox. Very good way to describe him.
And then he has a devastating injury, but some people would walk away and quit.
Yes.
He didn't. He showed up every day. He was still here. What does that say about his character?
Exactly. It shows that he's just very resilient. That is so hard to do in terms of for your mental part, but in the end, he showed up every day, and he was always very joyful around us and was going through it with us, it felt like. And I hope that he got some enjoyment out of it, and we were good back to him. But it meant a lot to us, show that he was that invested in it to where he stayed with it and he was willing to go through that.
What's like one final message you would want to send to them?
Just keep having a positive attitude like you always came to, and keep playing poker, win some money through that, and I love you, buddy.
Think of Luke Paonessa. What comes to mind?
Hard work, dedication, working smarter, not harder.
You've grown up with him, right? Mm-hmm. So what have you seen over the years about him that's impressed you?
Physically, the way that he's transformed, he's on our all-time squat board. He's squatted like 485 pounds. And I mean, that alone says something. But from being a normal kid in middle school to putting on a bunch of muscle mass, coming up to your senior year, being a starter, and being able to perform at the level that he did, I think says a lot.
How about just him as a person off the field? What's he like?
He's a funny kid. Always has a smile on his face, very positive, very smart, good in school. He's just a joy to be around. I hang out with him a lot. We work together, so we spent a lot of hours talking and hanging out, so I got to know him really well the past couple of years. Well, we like to eat. I think every single time we hang out, we hit up Chipotle or Chick-fil-A at least once. Go swimming, something active, lots of spike ball, lots of basketball, stuff like that, just messing around. We've built these relationships since we were so young, and it's like this is what we were always looking forward to. We were always looking forward to that senior year. So, I mean, my heart just goes out for him. It must be so hard for him to deal with it because you have to put all that you have into this program to start and be a contributor. So, yeah, I feel really bad for him, but I think I love when he comes around and hangs out with the team and brings a positive energy. I think it shows how resilient he is. He's persevered through so much, not only pain, but like emotional struggle, having that all taken away from him. And for him to show up and be a contributor and teaching the young guys and bringing positive vibes to the practice with a smile on his face, I think it keeps up the morale of the team. I think he helps bond the team.
How do you keep this focus off of that and think positive?
I think it's tough right now because we're in football season, but I think just keeping the conversation away from football, talking about other things, school, sports, and food, stuff like that. That always helps get your mind off things. So it always has to be in the back of his mind, but we try to help him out as much as we can. I think he's going to go on into life, and he's going to be faced with more challenges and more struggles, and he'll be able to persevere because how much this scenario has strengthened him. So I think he'll be able to grow from this experience, and it will only help him out in the future, and he'll be even more successful. I think Pete will make a lot of money. That's my prediction.
We started our own mulching company, me, Sam, Amin, and Luke. And me and Luke were partners, so me and him would go do our own jobs. So I probably spent, out of all my friends, I probably spent the most time with him this summer because we were working 4 or 5 days a week and just mulching. We enjoyed our time together when we were mulching. It was a lot of fun. We actually look back on it all the time like that was probably the best part of summer, was me and him just going and doing our own jobs. Because when we work with Sam, Sam's more of like this, and that. Me and Luke are more laid back and just get the job done. So me and Luke, we have a good time. Me and Luke used to live in the same neighborhood, Stonebridge gang, the OG crew, and we used to play football on the field when we were like 8 years old, probably till like we were 12 or 13. And then I moved, and we grew kind of distant for a while and didn't talk much. And then high school rolled around, and he's a strong dude. Like I've never been able to out-squat Luke ever, and I'm way bigger than him, and it kind of pisses me off. So we had to become lifting partners because we squatted around the same weight. His was always a little bit higher, but we were lifting partners, so we became close again, and then mulching started again, so that brought us even really close, and I would consider him one of my best friends.
Anybody didn't know anything about him, what are some of the things you say about him that make him stand out?
He's goofy, he's funny, and I'm sure if you ask anyone, he's like, we joke that he's like a 45-year-old man, because like, he's got that facial hair, he's got a full beard. If he looks at a cheeseburger, he gains probably 5 pounds. He's horrible metabolism. He's just fun to be around. He's a funny guy. Coming into this year, we were like, all right, well, we got our middle linebacker set in stone. Like, this kid knows what he's doing. We got some experience. And first 2 games that prevailed, he was very good and knowledgeable. He was the leader of our middle linebacker crew. And it was devastating to see him tear his ACL after all the hard work he's put in the past 4 years. And I know he's been looking forward to it. So that was really hard to see him go through that, but he did a great job. He stayed a part of the team. He would always he'd come to our lineman nights, our BP nights, and hang out. I think that's what kept him going, because I think he would have had a really hard time if we didn't get to like see him and hang out with him still. After the injury happened, we went over his house a couple times to visit him and just hung out, because he couldn't do much, so we were just chilling in the basement, hang out. We started a fantasy leagues in our fantasy league, so we just did a bunch of little stuff to just try to keep his mind off it, because I know it was hard.
Just showing up every day says a lot.
It's a hard thing to do.
Exactly. What do you think that says about his character, about how he's going to be successful in the lifetime?
So I think what that says about his character is he knows that football is bigger than just himself, and he knows that we're a team, and he knows that his presence would help us as a team. So that takes a lot to just be injured and still come in every day, have positive energy, coach guys, be just a good guy. And about his work ethic, he is a horse. Like when we do mulching, you just try to keep up with him or else he'll run circles around you. Like he's crazy. That's another part of like the 35-year-old man. Like he doesn't have an off switch. At our one job, we used to joke that like while we were mulching, he'd go in and clean their house and like fluff their pillows and like clean their pool just because he's like an over-the-top guy. He's a perfectionist when it comes to working. And that showed in his sport, and it was hard to see him go through that injury for sure. This might be one of the hardest things he'll have to go through in his life, and now he knows what it's like going through something tough, and I think that just made him a tougher person. Going through something tough and handling it so well, I think in the long run, knowing that and him handling it perfectly, that'll help him in the long run for sure.
Any final thoughts? Any message you want to send him?
No, I love Luke, and it sucked seeing him go down this year because he would have been a huge factor of our team, and that would have kept Santee probably at safety, and he could have played middle linebacker because he was a force in the field. And off the field, he's a great dude, and I love Luke.
If you were flavor ice cream, what would you make?
Chocolate, because it's my favorite.
Anything on it? Any sprinkles? Any whipped cream? Any sauce?
Double chocolate chunk.
Just overkill of chocolate.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, if you were pizza, what toppings would you have?
Plain cheese.
Really? No pepperoni?
It's my favorite type of pizza.
Just cheese? If they made a movie by Luke Paonessa, who would star as Luke?
Probably Adam Sandler, because he's a fun guy. I like having a little fun, and he's also a nice guy.
This would be a comedy?
Yeah, for sure. I like making people laugh, and I think he does a good job of that.
Recently, the Mega Millions was $1 billion. If you bought that ticket and won, what would be the first handful of things you'd buy?
I would allow my parents to retire. I would probably use that money to invest in myself, start my own business, maybe buy a new house for myself. No, that's about it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Travel the world, anything?
Yeah, but I just getting that money doesn't make, like, I wouldn't just want to travel the rest of my life and just be set for life. Like, I would want to still be doing stuff, you know. Still have, like, an everyday job to keep myself busy.
Any final thoughts to the Eagles, future Eagles, and Eagle community?
This is a great program. Any player out there watching this that's thinking about joining the team or is already on the team, just stick through it. I know I have buddies that didn't even play but still got a positive experience out of it. So stick with it. Even if you get hurt, stick with it.